Today, inshallah, we're going to discuss the relative clauses, defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. Let's start with defining relative clauses. This type of relative clause gives important meaning to the sentence. هذا النوع بيعطي معنى أو مهم للجملة بلا الجملة بتكون ناقصة. To prove this, let's take an example. Example number 1. Sally is the girl. She doesn't like milk. We're going to join these two sentences in one sentence. Sally is the girl who or that doesn't like milk. We delete the pronoun she. Sally is the girl who or that without she. Just we replace she with the relative clause who. Sally is the girl who or that doesn't like milk. Olive oil is something. This is the first sentence. We need important thing about olive oil. Important meaning about olive oil. Olive oil is something which or that Palestinian breakfast uses a lot. Sentence number 3. Fairy tales often feature animals. They talk. Fairy tales often feature animals which or that talk. Can you derive the rule? We use who or that to describe people. We use which or that to describe things. We don't use commas. The second kind is non-defining relative clauses. This type added useful information but not necessary extra information. هذا النوع بيعطي معلومات مفيدة بس مو ضرورية. extra إضافية. Here we have two examples. Example number 1. He has 2 strong sons. It's a meaningful sentence. But we add extra information about the sons who live with him. Jack has a peony plant. It's a meaningful sentence. Jack has a peony plant, but we add extra information about the plant, which grows fast and very high. Which grows fast and very high. The plant grows fast and very high. Good. Can you derive the rule? Look at example number 1. Do we use that? Look at example number 2. Do we use that? No, we don't. We don't use that in the non-defining relative clause. We don't use that. But we use commas to add the extra information. We use commas to add the extra information. Let's move to your box. Open your box, page 92. Look at the chart or the table here. We have examples about defining relative clauses and non-defining relative clauses. Look at sentence number 1 in defining relative clauses. Fairy stories often feature animals. Stop here. They talk. We join these two sentences into one sentence. Fairy stories often feature animals which or that can talk. I want you to ask yourself how we join the two sentences. How? Take 1 minute to think about sentence number 2. Jack is a young boy who or that lives with his mother. Jack is a young boy. Full stop. He lives with his mother. This is the first sentence. Jack is a young boy who or that lives with his mother. Yes. Let's move to sentence number 3. Sentence number 3 is very important. Can you do it? Take a minute. The woman who or that phoned me was very polite. The woman was very polite. This is the first sentence. She phoned me. This is the second sentence. We join the two sentences in one sentence and we add the information here beside the woman. The woman who or that. The relative clause who or that beside the woman. It refers to the woman. The woman who or that phoned me was very polite. Chart number 2. Non-defining relative clauses. Look at example number 1. Jack has a peony plant. This is a meaningful sentence which grows very fast and high. Yes, this sentence joins two sentences. Jack has a peony plant, the first sentence. It grows very fast and high, the second sentence. Jack has a peony plant, comma, which grows very fast and high. Ask yourself how we join the second sentence and the third sentence. How we join them. Okay? This activity asks you to complete the grammar rules about defining and non-defining. But before complete this grammar table, look at this sheet. Relative clauses. Look at this sheet paper, then complete your chart in your box. Let's move to activity number 2. Join the two short sentences to make one longer sentence, replacing the underlined parts with the relative pronouns. Use that where possible. Look at this. Use that where possible. Where can you use that? Where? Just with defining. Don't forget. You can use that just with defining. Look at example number 1. The story happens in Jaffa. Jaffa is a city in Palestine. The story happens in Jaffa. Jaffa is a city in Palestine. Which relative pronoun you will use? Is this sentence defining or non-defining? Tell me. Ask yourself and tell me in your comments. I'm waiting. Complete this activity and show me your answers. Let's move to activity number 3. Activity number 3 is very easy. Look, I make it easier for you. Here we have reduce relative pronoun or full relative pronoun. Look at the example of defining clauses, then circle the correct words to complete the grammar rules. Children visit the other words that the stories describe. Children visit the other words. The other words is object, and that refers to the object. Describe. They learn to question the world. The world is object that they see, and that refers to the world. That's the woman that I found. That's the woman that I found. That refers to the woman. These sentences defining, and we can reduce that in the first sentence, in the second sentence, in the third sentence. We can remove, we can cross out, we can delete that. Yes, remove that in the first sentence. Read the first sentence without that. Children visit the other world the stories describe. Is it clear? Yes, it's clear. And it's a meaningful sentence. I'll tell you when we can delete the relative pronoun or cross out the relative pronoun. If we have a noun after the relative pronoun, we can delete the relative pronoun. In Arabic, إذا جاء بعد اسم الموصول ذات أو هو أو which اسم نستطيع حذف الاسم الموصول. أوكي؟ إذا جاء بعدي اسم نستطيع حذف. that أجا بعدها stories. that أجا بعدها they وهي pronoun وهي اسم. تعتبر pronoun يعني تعامل معاملة الاسم. The woman that I pronoun برضه تعامل معاملة الاسم. إذن we can delete that in the 3 sentences. Okay? Yes. Let's move to activity number 4. Join the 2 short sentences together to make one longer sentence. Use that where it is needed. Where it is needed. Where can you use that? Don't forget, in the defining relative clause. But leave it out. Cross it. Delete it. Cross it out. Delete it if isn't needed. Look at the example. That's the car I want to buy when I am